Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Force Science Forever. Today, I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing new Roxas map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting out for Team 1 in the Northwest and ending with Team 2 in the Southeast. Also known as Blue Team versus the Red Team. Starting off for Team 1's Western player, we have in Royal Blue, it is Azure Phoenix. Definitely aptly named there. He is a UEF for this match as a 1606 rated player. To his Northeastern Amethyst Purple is Schumer. He is a Cyber for this match as a 1571 rated. And rounding out Team 1's Eastern side here in Stage Blue, it is Raid. He is a Seraphim as a 1622 rated, barely beating out Azure Phoenix for the highest rated player on his team. So for Team 1's side of the map, overall they have a Cybran, a UEF, and a Seraphim. No Aeon Tech for Team number 1. Starting up for Team 2, frontline player, at least far forward player, I should say. In Ruby Red, we have Shen. He is the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall at a 2011 rating. Again, he's playing as an Aeon. Southeast of him in orange, the color orange, it is the Cyber player of Xware, making another appearance here on the channel. He is an 1195 rated. And last but not least for Team 2 in the West, it is Tynet. He is a Cybran as well, in Chevy Crimson as a 1541 rated. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have two Cyberns in the back with an Aeon in the front, which means Team 2 lacks the UEF and Seraphim faction. Team 1 lacks only the Aeon faction. And for these 6 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 23,000 mass and reclaim. We'll round that up to 24, making that 4K mass roughly per player. There's a huge clump of reclaim, especially this, 2,800, 2,800, 2,800, essentially a little under 9,000 mass right here. And there's a little bit of chunk of mass up there to the northeast. And there is some mass closer to the players' main bases, but they do have to hoof it to get that really, really chonky bit of reclaim. And in terms of the mexes, it is very, very difficult, at least for me, at least, maybe for some of you as well, to see where the mex locations are on the map itself, because it's the snow map and it's, again, light on light, makes it very difficult. So I added them to the mini map in the western side of the screen. Normally I don't do that because when it gets to very later in the game, there's so many icons and whatnot running around the map, and it's just easier to have those off the map. But in terms of finding them for the early game, in terms of where stuff is located, it's kind of nice to have. Take a look at Team 2 side of the map. We have 1 going off the mini map here, 2, 3, and then 4 Trimex positions on the front line. A couple of mexes dotted along that line, and a couple of mexes in the back line. Actually, there's not terribly too many. There's kind of this really weird just space of no mexes. And then no mexes in the southeastern corner, which makes it kind of just debunked. And it's also kind of walled off by mountains, so I don't expect to see anything. Maybe some flybys, maybe, but not much after that. And then a couple of mexes, couple being 2 in that southwestern corner. There are a couple of mexes in the direct middle of the map, but there is a large kind of no man's land between the mainline mexes for Team 1 and Team 2. So I expect it to be a little bit more of the traditional like trench warfare rather than more of just in-your-face 24/7 kind of warfare. So we'll see how these players end up moving around on the map. It seems like everybody is going for the middle of the map except for Team 1's Schumer. It looks like he's a little bit lagging behind the rest of the crowd here, but he is making his way over there, and it is actually kind of hard to see that movement icons as well. We can see the drop locations pretty nicely, but that's really about it. And it's in just a light on light scenario, especially that white. It just makes it very, very difficult to see that lightish blue, that lightish green. I feel like there should be a way to change the colors. Let me know if you know a way to do that or not, so in these maps I can just edit them, and that way it's a lot easier for everybody, including myself, to see. But we do see possible come action will occur here. I mean, with 5 out of the 6 players here, somebody's going to go for that reclaim. And let's see, who's it going to be? It's going to be Team 2's Shen versus Team 1's Raid. Raid is the recipient of the first damage. Shen is the deliverer of said damage. We do see the Amethyst Purple player of Team 1's Schumer is inbound. Actually, no, he's falling back a little bit. Looks like he's going for a mex, and then he's going to show up here. It is 2v1 ganging up on Azure Phoenix from Tynet and Xware. Again, I have to say Xware, like purposefully every time, because I'm going to say Xrar, just out of nowhere, or not out of nowhere, but just out of habit. So again, trying to make sure that I say X where with a W instead of an R. Azure Phoenix does drop into the yellow. Both these players still in the green. Tynet, pretty close to the yellow, but not too bad. And we do see X where going in to grab these mexes here. He is a Cybran, so he'll have to reclaim, and he can't just immediately build on the wreck. If he was an UEF, he could do that, but unfortunately he is not. We do see Schumer and Raid over here as well. So it looks like Team 2, what's the reclaim situation currently sitting at? A little bit behind Team 1, but not by much. As the game progresses, that number percentage will be, not really that bad. It'll be, 21K versus 19K or whatever. It's just not really a huge percentage one way or the other. Gun range has been started for Shen. That's almost done on the comm. We do see both the comms here for Team 2's Tynet and Xware have retreated. Most of that reclaim has been scooped up. Team 1 starting a gun in Azure Phoenix, and I expect to see a couple of guns outbound from somebody else, at least on Team 1 and Team 2. Speed started after that range upgrade is done. Piercing attack inbound from Shen, going after whatever he can up here. A couple of mexes are down, but nothing too bad, and we do see reinforcements moving in to isolate that push, and a couple more inbound from Team 1's. Who's that? That is Schumer to assist with defense, but actually some of those are T2 units. So Shen heavily went for T2 upgrade very early, spammed up a couple of blazes and just said full send it, call it a day. Blaze is getting into this nice little hydrocarbon here. Don't think that's going to be too much affected. It does look like there's only that one blaze remaining, and those forces should be enough to kill off that last remaining tank. Yep, there they go. Gun is started here for Team 2's Tynet. Gun is almost done on Azure Phoenix's comm in the southwest. Couple of raids, looks like possible, maybe, possibly, a little bit on both sides, but nothing too crazy. Looks like concentration of the action will happen essentially in the direct middle of the map. Maybe we'll see some avenue kind of hook maneuvers down here, but I don't expect too much movement, especially in this little quarter up here. It's going to be more annoying to move units through here. Just move them through here. Just makes it a little bit easier. We do see gun has been started here for Team 1's Cybran player of Schumer. And shield has started on board Shen's comm. Usually it's the advanced range upgrade and then it's the shield. But he's going for the shield first. Now we see stealth starting here for Tynet. Definitely a typical Cybran play. Wants to either go for stealth to have the ability to be off radar and just stay on stealth, or just go straight to nano. Or if he wants to, come back and then go for nano. That's kind of usually how these things go. Nano has been started, speaking of which, on Azure Phoenix's comm. He'll get back up to 100% here shortly. And we'll see, does he go for nano? No, not right this second. We don't see any upgrades on Xware as of yet. And there's the advanced range upgrade starting here for Shen. Looks like he just wanted to be a little bit more protected in case enemy forces were inbound. We do see that gun is now done on Schumer. Will he go for stealth? And we do see that raid over here. No upgrades on board the comm yet. He's dealing with a little bit more incoming blazes. Overcharges that one immediately right in his face, saying, no thank you, I don't want any of whatever you're selling. Gun has been started here for Xware's comm. It is one gun nano versus gun stealth. Stealth is not going to do him a lot of favors in this mix because he can see him for now. But once he goes off vision, it's kind of a little bit more one-sided in that affair. But again, it is nano versus just stealth, so the long-term engagement will favor Team 1 just because of that, 50 hit points a second versus only 18. Looks like a run-by attempt. Heavy push here from Team 2's Tynet. There's not really a lot here to stop it. There's a couple of pillars inbound, but that's not going to stop that push entirely. A couple of T2. Actually, those aren't even point defense. Those are TMDs coming online here for Team 1. So that's going to be a little bit not great, but it does look like it's coming in by ones and by twos. So that a couple of pillar force will be probably more than enough to deal with that. It does look like the force will kind of fall back, go through this position, wipe out this, and maybe just call it a day there. Nano repair has been started on Tynet's comm. There he goes. The upgrade has been started and progressing quite nicely. T2 upgrade started. We have a missile outbound from the eastern side here from Shen, going after very far deep into Team 1's territory. They've taken out this mech here. Going after these mechs here. Looks like they've been spotted by the blazes saying, hey, take those out. Yep, there goes that mech. And will they secure that mech's kill? No. Maybe another missile will be outbound shortly. Stealth has been started on Schumer's comm. He's moved over here. Azure Phoenix helping that upgrade along and getting some triads for defense. Needs to get a little bit more AA. There's a couple of bombers that have been raiding them over there on that western side. Stealth now starting here for Xware, which again, the percentage chance she goes for Nano is pretty high considering his teammate already hasn't. Forces have come to support the comm of Tynet, but it does look like Azure focused more on the more on the forces to get that veterancy up online. Does have some PD to assist, and that will drive that force even further southward. Tynet continuing to push. Nano repair has been started on Schumer's comm. He's going after the T2 PD. Schumer actually kills the Nano upgrade. Gonna go after the comm. If Azure Phoenix could get in close range, it could be a kill here, but it does look like he's going to hold back. Couple of some fire beetles outbound from Tynet. Looks like they're going to try to assassinate that comm, or at least drive some hit points away from the comm's hull plating, but it does look like the vision on Team 1 is just enough to... Those have cloaking, so they would have Omni on board. They would need to have Omni on board to see it, but they're able to target those quite easily. I need to check that again. I feel like those have... They have cloaking. Maybe the power was down for Tynet, maybe, and that's why he didn't... yeah, possible power. Yeah, that could have been it. And, like, they were targeting those quite easily. That doesn't really make sense. We do see some forces stacking up here in those little shrubs there. Well, not little shrubs. They actually are actual trees, but they look like shrubs. Yeah, look, there's cloaking there on that fire beetle. Yeah, maybe it just was a power issue at the time. Nano repair restarted here for Schumer. He's dropped into the yellow. Not looking too hot. PD opening up on Tynet's comm. He's not going to be able to get out of there. Ooh, there he goes. Just pushed. No sound. Oh, that's rough. I hate it when I have no sound in video games. Some games it's fine, but most games you definitely want sound. So it is unfortunate, especially like this, especially when you get the commander under attack warning. You kind of want to know about that. We do see that Team 2's Xware does gain control of everything. Actually, no, it looks like it went to Shen. It looks like some of the stuff went to Xware, and some of it did not. Looks like the main base did, but the frontline stuff went to Xware. And that probably makes a little more sense, just so he can keep the stuff on the front line, keep his main base, and then have Shen take the main base of Tynet, so that way he can get the boost in mass income. Team 1 and Team 2, the eco's slowly favoring Team 2, but nothing too crazy. We do see Schumer is very far behind, but looks, yeah, I was going to say it's probably power related, which he should be fixing here shortly. Nano and Guncom of Azure continuing to push. We have Xware in the yellow, a couple of pillars nearby. If they turn around, they probably won't kill the comm, but they may drop him into the red at least, and will force him back. With the death of Tynet, it does give an advantage on this western side for APM. For all of those very important, you know, there's literally, it's a 2v1 now, and in a ladder situation, not great. And now Shen goes and just assassinates Raid's comm with his comm. Again, advanced range and shield and speed on board. Looks like Raid was in a scenario where he just could not get away from the comm, and now that will give Team 2 an advantage on this eastern side, essentially making the de facto player of Schumer moving in to secure the eastern front, while his teammate of Azure secures the western front. And to point out a whole sound issue, I've seen a couple of the comments on, I think it was yesterday's video, about there being an issue with my mic. It is the same mic that I use in my normal setup back at home, but it's weird that there's an audio issue. Maybe it's like an OBS thing where just the settings were turned down or something, so I've manipulated those a little bit. Hopefully it's better. Let me know, because I want to provide best quality content as possible. So if there's a mic issue, if there's an issue, let me know. So it is just weird that it sounded fine when I was doing the editing, but you know, maybe I just tune it out because it's my own voice kind of thing versus somebody else's voice. That could be it. Anyway, distraction in that regard. Schumer getting kind of bombarded a little bit by a couple of Harbingers. Has to chase those down, and those things will break on through. Lots of interceptors here for Team 2. Shen, I don't think he's an air player, but he's just spammed out some intercepts, and it does look like he does give control over to Expert of this main base. It is Cybran and Cybran, so that kind of does make sense. He does have T3 Air online for Team 2, and T3 Air is online for Team 1. So we have essentially an air player for Team 1 with a land player versus a land and air and another land player. So a little bit of, more focus on one theater of war versus the other. So we'll see if land focusing entirely versus a kind of hybrid method works for either team. It is 2v2. It is before, roughly at 20 minutes now. So plenty of time to see how that strategy ends up working for both these teams. Again, one of them will win, or if it ends in a draw, that has happened in a video a couple days ago. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out. For those of you who know what happened, you know what happened. For those of you who don't, I won't tell you which video. You just have to watch him to figure out which video it is. But those of you who know, yeah, it was unfortunate, I think would be the term that people have used. Anyway, nice little asylum here. Doesn't have any support nearby. There it goes. Yep, they're not going to last much longer with no forces nearby to support it. Is your PGen, says Shen. Was there... What? Was there way faster T3? No idea what he's talking about there. Anyway. Couple of Mantis on the edge here hanging out. Having some discussion about why they're there and why they're fighting this war to begin with. You see in the west here, Azure microing his forces up here. A couple of forces here from Schumer to just hang out and help support. We do see Schumer's a little bit not as far away as I would thought. You would think he'd be right over here, but we do see Shen is falling back a little bit. He's going back to... He's going to sit there in the shrubbery there, but he's not going to fall back to base just yet. We do see Nano is almost on an expert commander. Definitely a smart play to get, because again, if he is going to be on that front line, he definitely wants that Nano. We do see that Loyalist goes down. Schumer has Nano and Gun on board. Team 1 has lost their Seraphim player. Team 2 has lost one of their Cybern ones. So no tanky Seraphim commander for Team 2 to deal with, which is kind of nice, at least in their aspect. But Team 1 still has access to Seraphim tech, so it's not like it's, they lose an entire player's worth of technology. It's, they're still available to Team 1. So, again, chickens, monkeys, fat boys for Team 1, and crabs. Team 2, colossi, chickens, and... That's not chickens. Monkeys and crabs. For experimentals on land side of things. Another push inbound here from Team 2. Looks like it's cleaning up this position. Looks like Team 2 tried to actually take it. And Team 1's like, no. Just because you killed off Rad does not mean you can take his position. No. Bad. Go away. We do see more forces inbound to take out that force and took out that force. So, again, just a back and forth. But we do see a couple of Cougars online. Help to assist this push from Azure. We do see Schumer's right next door. He should be fine to engage. There's only 4, 5 Harmagers here. It's not terrible. There is a Percy or 2 mixed in there, so in terms of the numbers, it does favor Team 2, but those Percys, I mean, those things are deadly. Gotta watch out for those things. Looks like that force on the western side has grown a little bit, but then kind of gets forced back by a couple of forces from Team 1's Azure, a couple of Percys, Cougars, and some, not Asylums, but T2 Parachutes. So good mix of units there. Would love to see maybe a Titan just for some rapid fire response. Again, as much as I love the Percys and constantly talk about them when they're on screen, you cannot undersell the ability to just wipe out a bunch of Team 1s with Titans. You just cannot undersell that. That's why the Harbinger nice, because it's a little bit of both. Because it is a little bit more shots per, damage per shot. Not damage per second, but damage per shot for the Harbingers, but it's not as much as the Percy. Brick is, again, it's just super, just do, like a machine gun. But anyway, it is nice to have that little bit of variety. A couple of mechs is not online in the middle here. Again, it is very difficult to see it. Essentially, you have to zoom in all the way, and then even then, you might confuse it for just a normal, radar rec or a unit rec, that sort of thing. So it's really hard to see. So just refer to the not main menu, but the mini map over there on the western side of the screen. I always want to say west because I don't say left, because I always say west or east or north or south. So left side of the screen. Let's see, 25 minutes on the clock here. Team 1 again has 2 players left. Team 2 has 2 players left as well. So it's a 2v2 game here so far. We'll see if somebody drops here in a minute as I talk about this, because sometimes it happens. Team 1 slightly ahead in the eco, 500 to 460, 450. So nothing too crazy. Again, this is a ladder match, so scaling does happen a little bit slowly. Generally, not always, but generally it happens a little bit slowly. And in terms of map control, I would say 50-50 maybe. Yeah, I'd say about 50-50. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the time and attention. I know ladders aren't as popular as customs or phantoms or whatever other cast that I have on the channel, so for those of you who do watch, I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. And of course, if you have a replay that you want me to take a look at, please send it to strategiclaunchreplays@gmail.com. The email is in the description of every single one of my videos, at least in however many videos it's been since I made that email. And then it is also on the YouTube page or the channel page as well. Shield almost done here for Azure. Will give him a nice chunky 19,000 hit point boost. So it makes him a nice little UEF tanky comp. TMD not present here, which means these mexes are going to die, and that one's just about to upgrade. There it goes, and there it goes. T2 upgrade finishes, and it's gone. Very unfortunate. Shen doing very well with those missile launches. We do see, again, that eco race is slowly starting to be caught up here by Team 2. I don't see any big ticket items there for Team 2 or Team 1 as of yet. That doesn't mean they couldn't be building them, but I just don't see them as of yet. Air grid being a little bit expanded upon here by Team 1. And we have another group of forces inbound from Team 2. Shen, he's doing very well at just grabbing a bunch, half a dozen units and just saying, go forward. Go as far forward as you can. I don't care. Just go. And that force will continue barreling forward this Trimex position in the west here. A couple of T3 mexes. Good luck keeping that online. Yes, there's a Percy or two nearby, but again, doesn't matter if you have the best damage per shot. 1,000 of anything, kill anything. And there go those Harbingers ripping apart. 27, 54, another 6 right here. So that's 60 plus, of course, the potential. So very damaging in terms of the eco for Team 1. And that will give Team 2 the lead at about 20 to 30 mass per second. So that T3 max makes a huge difference. Oh, look, an experimental is online with a big, giant circle that I, again, somehow have no idea how it was enabled, but somehow it's enabled. And then I'm going to go back home and try to figure out what that for that setting is, because some people have made a comment that it's actually nicer to have that bigger circle. So I'm going to try to find a way to find that setting and enable it, or whatever the heck it is. I have no idea. I did, again, exact same setting matchup. I went through every single setting. Went, okay, it's this setting. Okay, this is the percentage for this. This is the percentage for this. Okay, this is on. This is on. I did that like, 3 or 4 days before I left, and all that just to make sure. And yeah, no idea where this came from. So if anybody knows, let me know, and then I can enable it on the normal setup at home. So, but that'll be a while before I get home. So it's not something that needs to be found out immediately. Just sooner rather than later is always the preferred method, in my opinion. Nice little Harbinger running around here. It looks like it survived that initial push. Again, more mexes are being rebuilt. This one got rebuilt pretty quickly, and this one is being, built pretty quickly. So that refractory time is very well for Team 1's Azure Phoenix, getting those T3 mexes back online. It is that Monkey Lord again. It is the weakest in terms of the hit points on the Monkey Lord, but it does rip through units pretty quickly. Harbinger's not great. Again, if you imagine if you put a shield on board that Monkey Lord. Ooh, that would be that'd be dangerous. That would be super. Again, essentially like a bigger Harbinger is kind of how it looks. Again, 6 legs instead of 4. Very spider-like. A lot of Cyberans are obsessed with, for some reason, spiders. I don't know what it is, but they have those like very long, skinny legs. There's usually 6 or plus legs on some units, and I don't know what it is, but that's just the aesthetics that the devs went with. And again, I like the UEF aesthetics, and the Seraphim. UEF and Seraphim look very good for what they are, and I do think the Seraphim have the best aesthetically pleasing. Some of the units, not all of them. Definitely some of them. Definitely that T4 bomber that everybody makes fun of, because sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. And when it's bad, it's real bad. Anyway, southwestern corner here, we have more forces inbound from Team 2's X, where it's just a lot of raids. There's no concentrated 1 point or 2 points on the map where it's just brawlers just constantly going back and forth. It's really just, okay, I'm going to poke you over here, I'm going to poke you over there, I'm going to slice through this section, oh, you're going to go through here, okay, I'll deal with that. And it's partly due to the fact there's some geological annoyances to go around, but for the most part, it's just wide open spaces. So there's no lanes or anything. It's just wild, wild west over here. That's why map control is just kind of hard to keep, because there's just constantly new avenues of if I move my forces 3 inches to the right, you move your forces 3 inches to the left, and that allows you to come in a little bit closer than normal before. And again, monkey versus monkey, 2 veterancy versus 0. So just based on the numbers there, it will go Team 1, but there are some Harmagers shooting at it. And there goes that monkey lord. It will gain a ranking veterancy. And the Perseus may turn around. No, it looks like they're not going to turn around. This Harbinger group is still going to push. I do love the mix of forces here. It is the fastest T3 mainline unit in the game, those Harbingers, and it can reclaim. So these forces want to stick here for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds to just scoop up that 8,600 mass. That would be very, very great. And they're trying to push them back and secure the reclaim, it looks like. A couple of PDs still here, and there's a couple of them. There's a lot of them in this base. More T2 PD being built. I would assume that those triads are now in range. Oh yeah, definitely in range of that monkey lord. They can't see it, but now they can. Focusing down that monkey lord again. 12,000 hit points being chopped off at 2,000 per burst. And looks like most of those triads are going to be dealt with before the monkey lord is defeated. And it's going to continue moving on forward. Nice grab here by Team 2. Hopefully he'll come and reclaim this monkey lord and get that scooped up in his coffers. Nice little bonus in terms of getting more reclaim. But we do see some Ravagers being built down here, which arguably probably would have been better off in this base, but seems like this avenue has been a little bit more weaker for Team 1 than anything else. Eastern side, again, kind of similar situation. We have some T2 Seraphim PD that never, ever miss ever by any means ever. Ever. Of course, there's a joke there, because it's kind of hard to miss when it's a direct line of sight unit, or a direct line of a laser. But, you know, there's arcs and stuff that I can't do, so there's missing isn't really... It's more realigning the laser, and if there's a hill, good luck. Any incline, good luck. Good luck dealing with that. Whaler inbound, monkey lord at 4-star vet, back up into the yellow. This one seems to be a little bit more annoying to deal with. We haven't had a proper air fight as of yet. It does look like Team 2 has 2 air players, one in the form of X-Ware and a smaller one in the form of Shen. Looks like the ASFs are inbound from Shen, and they don't engage from X-Ware. Unfortunate. Oh, no, here they come. It is Cybran v. Cybran. So there's no faction advantage in the air. There's just straight ASF versus ASF count at this point, and turning. And it looks like the gunship was knocked out. A little bit better engagement here for Team 1. Ooh, is that going to be a clean sweep? Almost clean. But look at the dead mechs here for Team 1. We have a Trimex position, and 2 of them actually knocked off online here for Team 1. So very, very, very not good. 5-star vetted monkey lord paid for itself, and then some. And it does look like the monkey lord is soon to be scooped up by the engineers from both Shen and X-Ware. So getting a little bit piece of the action in that regard. And we see a whole shift, it looks like, to that western side. This is the weaker of the 2 sides for Team 1. That could be the way that Team 2 wins this fight, crush this position, and essentially that's just a dead air grid at that point. We see a tiny... I was going to say, we see a tiny little base up here. I wonder what's up here, and there's a nice little... I wouldn't say little, nice Stone Anger here. So that's going to be fun. You can actually... It's almost the UEF logo, kind of, if they changed the flaps when they open. They could have just made it the UEF logo, and it opens up, and would have been, I think, maybe a lot cooler. But anyway, I'm not a game designer, or not a UI, but a asset designer or whatever. So, just my 2 cents in terms of aesthetically pleasing things. Anyway, gunships pushing in. It looks like there's a counterattack on the southwestern corner here. Not a lot of forces remain from that initial attack, and the most of them that is piling up are over here in the middle, not on this western edge. So it does look like with the gunship assistance, Team 1 might be able to get at least to this Trimex position here and exact a little bit of vengeance on those mechs who have died, for the 3rd time? At least 2 times that I've kept track of. Eastern side here has just kind of been not really much going on. Yeah, there's some engagements, and they push back, and then Team 1 rebuilds, and then maybe they do a little bit of pushback, and it's just kind of a back and forth, but there's really no gains relatively. Like, constantly killing stuff off. I mean, maybe this, but again, we see another push inbound from Team 1. Is there a chicken being built? No. Is there any sort of things being built? We saw a crab over here, but it's moving southeastward. It looks like it's going for this position once again. Team 2 did claim that monkey wreck, and here comes some gunships inbound. And the question is, will they break on through and kill off some important stuff for Team 2? Looks like they are going to get to some important stuff. T3 Pigeons being knocked out. Now, one of them, not a big deal, but, you know, with a power situation like this, you don't want to lose any Pigeons. Airlocking kind of started here by Team 1. Looks like the gunships are the main target here for those ASFs. And again, it is a distractionary tool. 3 T3 Pigeons are knocked offline. Looks like a gunship. Something exploded in the air. Doesn't look like it was a gunship. Don't see any wreck there. AA being deployed very, very quickly. Is that going to be enough? No, that AA emplacement will survive. SMD. Ooh, that is not good. That could be a game-winning move. There is an SMD over here. It is not loaded. T3 Pigeons being knocked out. Shen losing some shield. That's not terrible. But if they can kill off the other SMD, that might be enough to knock out the air grid, if not both positions, and that could be a win just right there. So as long as that nuke is A, not spotted, and B, not taken out, or both, or not neither, but at least taken out, Team 1 might have this game in the bag. Looks like gunships are going after Shen's comm. Shen's shield is not fully back online, it looks like. Will it come online? No, that is a nice snipe. Again, they don't go after the SMD, which may have been better, but it is now a 2v1 in favor of Team 1. Nice job by Schumer. Grabs an SMD, grabs a kill. Again, it does give everything over to one player on Team 2. But again, attrition, exhaustion, all those sort of things take into play. And now it's an entire front line and air being microed by one player instead of two. So it will take its toll. I'm surprised they didn't go after the air grid here, but depends when that nuke is loaded. Oh, it's... how close is it going to be? Not really, and they're not going to know about it, so it's going to be a free nuke for Team 1. Now the question is, do they go after the SMD or do they go after the air grid? I feel like, I think I've said this before, you go after the one and only SMD you know about. Team 1 should know what's mostly in this base for the most part. Though they'll know about the SMD. Yep, it's been spotted. Yeah, this is over. Nice try. My bad for dying stupidly. I mean, he didn't die stupidly. Oh, I guess he kind of walked in and got killed off. Which, yeah, that's not great, but it happens to everybody. It's not, you know, a one-person, two-person thing. It happens to everybody. You just are focused on something else, and then you're like, oh, I'm in the middle of the enemy's base. Oh, and I'm dead. Gunships inbound, going after P-Gens. It's going to slow down the loading of the anti-nuke missile for sure. Another P-Gen is down. This is not looking good for Team 2. That one gunship came in. The second set of gunships came in. If they take out the headquarters here. No. Looks like... Yep. That's... I was going to say, maybe they're going to just target that SMD. They could go after the comm here. I don't think... there could be enough gunships to take him out, but it looks like they're targeting the P-Gens. That's actually not even shielded. And it takes out the SMD. Ooh, that good place to stand. You got to move. Oh, looks like he's out of range of the volatile explosion. The ASF's not enough to cover those gunships. Team 2 will wipe them out, but that nuke is inbound, and that might just be... Oh, there it is. There's the move. Where does it go first? And it's going for this base. X-Ware is moving. He's getting AA online, but I don't... it's just... It's not great. If he had a nuke of his own, if he had some sort of big land push or something, maybe it's going to be... Oh, I mean, there's a Colossus, but the amount of time it's going to take him to walk to the other side of the map, they don't even know where the nuke is. That's a whole other thing. Going nuke or already... Looks like they spotted it. I don't know how long they know about it. That's the thing. Here comes the nuke. First one of the game. Kaboom! Oh, just a beautiful explosion. Kills everything off except the T3 Pigeon. X-Ware is nowhere to be found, which is a good thing for Team 2, but power's not good. Oh, yeah, no, not looking good, especially with those Pigeons being knocked offline here. You need to stop loading those building those ASFs and focus on rebuilding that power situation. That second nuke, I'm assuming it's, it's being heavily loaded. Not heavily, but decently loaded. T3 Pigeons helping to cut down the power costs as well, but That is going to be the second nuke position, I would assume. I mean, why not? And then this is going to be the third. And after the third, that's probably it. Team 2 has lost the Aeon T3 headquarters. I mean, they still have Aeon engineers running around, but they've lost the headquarters at least. And then it's going to be the T3 air headquarters for the Cybran and the T3 land headquarters for the Cybran. And then that's probably going to be game. I do love that there's just a radar system up here. It's hanging out. Nothing too crazy. Looks like they reclaimed whatever they could. T3 mix. Wow, that just got assassinated, didn't it? Look at that. The mass storages are dead. The mass fabs are not. Yeah, it looks like they're actually turned off as well. No, it doesn't show that they're off. It just shows an... Oh, is it the power thing still? No. Weird. Anyway, they're not just showing the plus however much they're producing, which should just be 1. Is there another... Yeah, the max is showing me the mass and energy costs, so weird. Or, production versus cost, anyway. Another gunships inbound. Those whalers have done a very good job this game. Team 1 gained just a bit of air control, just enough to push, and they pushed on a very a vulnerable pressure point, and that might be the game right there. Like I said, gunships plus the nuke equal victory for this game. Second nuke is almost loaded, and looks like the gunships, again, are kind of being stalled by all the mobile and stationary AA, so gunships might not be the call anymore. But it's just, I don't see a way for Team 2 to come back. Unless he tries to telesnipe both the comms, that could be a way, but he'd have to build laser and teleporter, and obviously have the power to do both those things, and not looking good on the power situation. So, like I said, it might just be game right there. He does get 2 SMDs online. I love the backups. He's not assisting that one, and he's not assisting that one. But hey, he does have 2 passively loading, so that is something. Does he get 1 in this base? No. Does Team 1 know about it? Even if they did, they probably will. Oh, they both know. They know about both of them. We have experimental here. It is a crab pushing in. We have a crab and a chicken. You just need to back off. Like, dang. Just give that chicken some. Sorry, that crab that space. Dang. Eastern side here. A couple of gunships running around, taking out some external T3 mexes, or auxiliary T3 mexes, I should say. But like I said, it's just going to be the slow attrition, erosion of Team 2's everything. We have an attack inbound here. We have a main attack here. There's 1 experimental here in a way of a Galactic Colossus. That nuke should be loaded. Yep, there it is. Will it fire? Will it look away? And then it'll fire. Let's see. Let's go look away for a couple seconds. Okay, let's go back. Is it gonna fire? No. Dang it. It didn't work. Now it'll fire this time. Watch. Second chicken inbound. Crab's gonna take the brunt of the damage there. Inverted laser. Love to see those because it's on the snow map, just because it's easier to see. Again, why can't that happen? Why can't the the mexes and the move orders just be inverted? Hey, there's the nuke launch. There it is. Because the Colossus doesn't automatically what's on a snow map, and it would be terrible to see the laser in its normal kind of white, like very, very, very lightish blue color. But all of the experimentals heading for the base. Nuke is outbound, so if the nuke doesn't kill the base, the experimentals will. GG says Xware. GGs are out. There goes the nuke. And looks like a monkey was being built. There's the control K, or there's the teleportation out of there. And Team 1 wins the game. 47 minutes, 24 seconds on the clock. Let me know down in the comments who you would pick for MVP. It is hard because you have the gunships, which did very well of going after P-Gens, going after an SMD, and a kill on Shen. And then you have the nuke that cemented that victory. So I think I'm going to give it to Schumer. I do think the strategy of having 1 player focus mainly on land and 1 focus on air definitely helped, because I think X were doing double duty in terms of land and air. Yeah, he was helping out Shen, who's doing a very good job, holding the line here, pushing a little bit and pushing in westward. But that air fight that happened over here wiped out Team 2's air for the most part, and then Team 1 went, oh, we'll just push gunships. And then they pushed gunships, and then essentially they won. So I think Schumer gets the credit for MVP in my book. Let me know down in the comments if I'm right, wrong, kind of right, kind of wrong, that sort of thing. Thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. Again, if there's any issues with the cast, please let me know. And it's probably a better, it's definitely a better computer, but again, it's not finely tuned because you usually do that over the course of multiple videos because you may think something sounds or looks good, but it doesn't. And so, you're kind of biased because you think it looks good, but people tell you it's like, no, it's not. You need to fix it kind of thing. So anyway, thanks so much for watching to the end. Thank you for dealing with all my ranting about nonsense. Really do appreciate it. And I will see all of you in the next one.